fervent wish is this, whether monk or lay person, when on board the ship of the great compassionate vow, let pure Shinjin be the favorable wind, and in the dark night of ignorance, let the jewel of virtue be a great torch. Hear and reflect on the truth that one is grasped, never to be abandoned, the teaching of attaining birth in the Pure Land with transcendent quickness and ease. Let there be no wavering or apprehension. The words of Shinran Shonin in Passages on the Pure Land Way, which you can find in the collected works of Shinran, Volume 1, page 303. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. There's a wonderful story told by a great teacher at the Hongwanji seminary in Kyoto. Once upon a time, a child gets lost in the woods and is separated from their parents. In the light of day, the woods are filled with endless fascinations. Trees to climb, beautiful birds flying, animals scampering around happily, fragrant flowers adorning the forest, and delicious fruits and berries are everywhere. And then night falls. It is dark. You cannot see your way. Your eyes fail you in the night. You stumble on things you cannot see in the darkness. You fall down a ravine and you cannot get back up. You are alone. You are afraid. You are lost. You are filled with despair. You are ready to give up hope. Then you hear the voice of your parents, your mother and father, calling to you in the darkness. Don't be afraid. We will save you without fail. You are grasped, never to be abandoned. Have no doubt, we will save you. You will be all right, no matter what. You cannot see your parents' faces, but you believe in their love for you, just as you are. In a love that is unconditional, non-judgmental, and unselfish. You know, without a doubt, they will find you. They will save you. You know you are loved, just as you are. Suddenly, a bright light shines in the darkness. It is your parents. And they save you. The end. Now, in this story, especially told by this teacher at the seminary in Kyoto, the twist is as this. Everyone's, the end, okay. The child is you. The forest is this world of delusion. The calling voice of your parents, the bright light in the darkness of the night, this is the calling voice of Amida. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, the calling voice of Amida. The late Reverend Dr. Taitetsu Unno explained Namo Amida Butsu this way, and I found it to be a remarkably effective way to help preschool children remember how to gassho and say Namo Amida Butsu. In the words of Taitetsu Unno, this is Namo, this is me. I am alone, I'm lost, I'm afraid, I'm searching for salvation. This hand is Amida, the great ship, the torch in the night. Amida cares about me and knows who I really am and is constantly working to find me, to save me without fail. And then together, we are Buddha, we are Amida Buddha. And the Nenju, the mindfulness beads, make a circle around me, right? Namo, Amida, and then together, Buddha, reminding us that all life is interconnected, all life is one, that we must rely upon each other. Now, the physicality of the movements are important in helping children to learn gassho and saying the Nembutsu, saying Namo Amida Butsu. So, let's give that a try. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. By the way, you can say Namo Amida Butsu pretty much any way you like, as long as you understand the true meaning of Namo Amida Butsu. Now, you'll hear ministers and lay people and people in different countries saying Namo Amida Butsu Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namo Amida Bu, Namo Amida, Namo Amitaya Buddhaya. There's many different ways of saying it. Amida is not a stickler for correct pronunciation. So the Nembutsu, which literally translates as mindfulness of Buddha, mindfulness of Amida, in the Jodo Shinshu tradition refers specifically to saying Namo Amida Butsu. Just say it, Namo Amida Butsu. Jodo Shinshu begins and ends with saying Namo Amida Butsu. So Shinjin is often translated as the entrusting heart, and this is the doctrinal foundation of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism. Shinjin comes to us via the calling voice of Amida, the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Shinran Shonin, the founder of Jodo Shinshu, emphasized that Shinjin is the true cause of birth in the Pure Land, and that Shinjin comes to us via the working of Amida's vow, the power of Amida Buddha working in our lives. Now, having received Shinjin, the absolute assurance of birth in the Pure Land, and becoming Buddha when we pass from this world and we're born in the Pure Land, and then the act of my saying Namo Amida Butsu becomes the Nembutsu of gratitude, expressing my profound appreciation for the benevolence of the Buddha. So Shinjin is the great slippery fish of Jodo Shinshu. The harder you try to grasp it, the faster it slips away. And yet, you do not have to intellectually understand Shinjin. You just have to experience it directly and open your heart and your mind to Shinjin, which is a gift from Amida Buddha. Reverend Marvin Harada, the Bishop of the Buddhist Churches of America, explains Shinjin as the true and real heart of Amida, grasping our all too human heart and mind and transforming the usually separate emotional self and the rational self, making it together as one, Namo Amida Butsu. My personal experience of Shinjin is best described in this way. When I stopped running away from myself, what I found was Namo Amida Butsu. The realization that I'd spent my entire adult life chasing the dream of being chief executive officer, the CEO, a big success, a big cheese, and then discovering to be a truly effective executive, you have to become hard and cold and ruthless, calculating, absolutely egocentric. So look up CEO as psychopath, and you'll see what I mean. Now, my ego, M-E, me, my ego, it's about me, it's about my ego. Everything is about my ego. To be a success, I had to become someone that I really didn't like very much. So, in the end, I walked away from a 30-year career. I turned my back on the CEO title that I had coveted for so long, only to discover it was an empty title. It wasn't exactly what I had hoped for. And then I tried to run away from myself, the self that I'd become, an arrogant, self-centered, self-satisfied bastard who didn't give a damn about other people. Now, the truth is, you can only run away from yourself for so long before you realize this, my ego, M-E, me, self. My ego is actually me. My ego is me. And you cannot outrun your true self, no matter how hard you try. Oh my Buddha. I'm the karmic fool. I'm the Bombu. I'm the ordinary human being bogged down by my passions and cravings. That's me. And when I stopped running away from myself, all that was left was Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Now, is it really possible that Namo Amida Butsu, Amida Buddha, the compassionate vow, has always been there for me? That I have been grasped by Amida's great compassion, never to be abandoned? Is this really possible? When I reflect upon the endless chain of causes and conditions that led me to success and failure, as an executive, as a consultant, as a creative writer, part of me insists, no, it's about me. It's my hard work, my intellect, my focus, my dedication, my anger, my need for revenge, my craving to be the center of attention. The other part of me says, in reflection, any success that I enjoyed was because of other people. causes, conditions, and situations. My mentors took pity on me and showed me how the corporate world really worked. And I was lucky. I was in the right place at the right time. And things just kind of turned out that way. Totally random. Was it me? Was it my self-power, my dedication, my self-effort? Or was it something else? And any failure in reflection was because I was angry or greedy or stupid, or any of the other 108 bonno, the blindingly self-centered passions, desires, cravings that cause physical, emotional, mental, psychological, and spiritual suffering in human life. The truth is, my failures were not due to other people. My failures were my own, and I have to own them. I have to take responsibility for my failures, which of course irritates the heck out of me, my ego, because I'm perfect. It's their fault, not my fault. I remembered that. The dog ate my homework. It's not my fault. Now, the funny thing about seeing yourself, your true egocentric, self-centered, self-satisfied self in this life, is that it's actually quite amusing and funny how silly our human self can be. Nowadays, be a better you is a popular marketing ploy. Be a better you. Be a better you. But from a Jodo Shinshu, a Shin Buddhist perspective, doesn't be a better you mean that you be even more self-centered than you are now? So the promise of be a better you is a very insightful and clever manipulation of human psychology by slimy advertising guys. I know, I used to be one of the slimiest advertising guys. Many times this is used by a self-help guru who wants to sell you something. So essentially the message is, be a better you. You are great now. Own it. Be more great. For $5,000 in this weekend retreat. Or for buy this product, buy this book. Believe in me. Let me be your guru. The Jodo Shinshu version of this says, be a better fool. You're a fool now. Own it. Be a great fool. And you could put that on a hat if you like. I take 10% in credit for the idea. Shin Buddhism is more like the greater the fool, the more Amida saves. So be the fool that is the real you. Amida is always working and ready, standing by to save the fool, to save the Bonbu, to save you, to save me, the real me. So Shinran quoted his great teacher, Honen Shonin, the founder of Jodoshu, as saying, quote, persons of the Pure Land tradition attain birth in the Pure Land by becoming their foolish selves. So this is Shinran Shonin quoting his great teacher, Honen Shonin, in the Lamb for the Latter Ages, the Matosho, Fascicle 6, Collected Works of Shinran, Volume 1, page 531. Now, to become your foolish self, first, you must truly see the fool that you are now. So in Jodo Shinshu or Shin Buddhism, to awaken to one's true nature as a foolish, ordinary, limited human being, just stumbling around in the dark, lost, alone, and afraid, is to awaken the ability to laugh at yourself, to see yourself as a self-centered fool who is embraced by Amida, never to be abandoned. Now this conviction, this great leap of faith, this Shinjin, gives you the strength and serenity to live life as it unfolds naturally. We are all just foolish, ordinary human beings stumbling around in the darkness of ignorance and suffering from the bondage of selfishness. And just as we are about to abandon all hope, there is a voice calling to us in the dark night of ignorance. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Mahalo for listening, and may your day be filled with aloha. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
you.